Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. Ryan Garcia. I've already done a couple of videos on him. And of course, you probably will have seen the little bit of handbags he had with Devin Haney, you know, in each other's faces. Haney said he said something about his mum, and it was all very childish. But during that little altercation, you could tell Haney was sort of cold-blooded, whereas Garcia, I mean, the top of his head nearly blew off. And there he was, prancing around, stripped to the waist, effing and jeffing to anyone who'd listen about what he's going to do to Haney, face down on the canvas, knock him out. Maybe 1 or 2 rounds, he says. You know. Then he was interviewed. I think it was one of those sort of group interviews where they're all the press are sort of asking questions, and he said, "You know, you guys just don't know acting when you see it," meaning that he was acting, that he was putting it on, that he was exaggerating it. Ryan, you're not fooling anyone, mate. You're not acting anything. You may genuinely believe what's coming out of your mouth, but that's not acting. And it just seems to me that this kid is in such a bad place. I mean, I know I've said this before. Should he even be in the ring? It's not fake. It's not fraudulent. And the only fraudulent thing is for him to say, well, I'm acting. You're not acting. You know, look, you can never really lie to yourself, because when your head hits the pillow, all the demons come out to play. That if you've been lying to yourself, and you know what the truth is in your heart of hearts, even though you constantly repeat it as a mantra, the contrary is true, the contrary is true. In your quietest moments, you know what the reality is. You know what your limitations are. You know where you are in life. You know whether you lack confidence or not. All of those things. But you can do it to other people if you're very, very manipulative, and you can be convincing to other people. Now, I don't find Ryan Garcia completely, remotely actually convincing. But where you can't lie to other people is in a boxing ring, because that will find you out. And when Garcia gets in that ring with Devin Haney, is it impossible that he might win? No, of course not. Nothing's impossible. The kid does have talent. He does have a lot of natural skills and athleticism. But when you get into a boxing ring, even though you may have lied through your teeth to other people convincingly and actually, you know, got the public on your side and made believers out of them, if you fool them, they will find you out in the ring, because it will become apparent that you were BSing them all along. And that's the impression that's kind of what I think is going to happen on Saturday when Garcia gets in there with Haney. I think it's really disturbing to see this kid. He's all over the place. And there have been fighters in the past who have been very chaotic, and when they've got in the ring, it's all made sense to them. It's like, you know, the eye of the storm is the safest. You know, Johnny Tapia, Aaron Pryor's another one. I mean, you could mention others, I suppose, even Mike Tyson, I suppose, but to some degree, Mike Tyson, yeah. But I don't really see this being the case with Ryan Garcia. And again, I think a big part of it is that this kid seems to have grown up on social media. He is a child of the internet social media age, and that's not reality. It's not reality. Actually, as an aside, bear with me on this one because it sounds a little bit left field, but I was sort of perusing YouTube, looking at interviews and so on, and then one popped up of his sister. So I just clicked on it randomly. I've never seen a kid that young with so much plastic surgery. Big, fake collagen lips, Botox to hell, probably had her eyes and her nose done. How old is that kid? Is she older than him, younger than him? You couldn't tell. You couldn't tell what age she was because she had so much plastic surgery. And that kind of fits in. That kind of, in a sense, it's like a little, it's kind of indicative of not just the sort of modern Instagram, social media, account, social media account lifestyle, if that's what you want to call it. It's also indicative of RYAN GARCIA's life at the moment. That sort of fake plasticity, that almost like her face was made out of wax. Very sad to see. And it's she's probably a nice looking young lady, but Jesus Christ, what's she done to herself? What's she going to look like when she's 40? Jesus Christ. Pete Burns all over again. So yeah, just a few thoughts on RYAN. I think he's in a very bad place. I know this is almost a statement of the obvious, and wouldn't it be strange if he got in the ring and knocked out Devon? There'd be some of us with a lot of egg on our face. But to be honest with you, even if he was to win that fight, number one, I don't think it would do him a lot of good. Number two, I think it might do him a lot of bad, because it would, again, perpetrate this idea that whatever life he's living outside of the ring is working. And it clearly isn't. Clearly isn't. But, Anyway, what do you think? What did you think of the press conference, the confrontation between him and Haney, and, all that stuff? What did you think? Do you have any opinions? If so, leave them below. And, of course, hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and spread the word about Joe Stunner Boxing. I always appreciate your time. And I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.